Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Before I get started, I want to wish a very special happy birthday to Shakira. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Happy birthday. Hope you're having a great, wonderful, and amazing birthday. Um, Going into this episode, Ben just lost at this point. He just completely lost it. His plan is to kidnap Sierra to help jog her memory, because that somehow makes sense to him. He's not going to do it alone. No, he's gotten Claire. Claire agreed to do this. I'm like, Claire, have you lost your damn mind? So, I guess you're going to enjoy having your father arrest you, right? Because that makes sense to you. She's all like, yeah, man, we're going to do it. And it's not just that. You got Allie that decides that it's a good idea to help kidnap Sia. I'm like, oh my goodness, this show is crazy. She agrees to kidnap Sierra. So now you got three people that's pretty much getting ready to commit a crime. Yeah, I can't make this up. I can't. Meanwhile, you got, Sierra being all, moody and, to be honest, bitchy, because, it's always fun seeing Sierra act that way. Snapping at her brother, scolding, Allie about yesterday, trying to, bring back memories and stuff like that. Just being, I guess you can call it bridezilla, but, I don't like that term. I'm not gonna call it bridezilla, I'm just gonna sit there and say that she's acting bitchy. That's it. But, she's getting ready for the getting ready for the wedding and everything like that. And they get Allie because, Claire clearly is not going to be a part of this wedding, so she can't sit there and text Ben when she's getting ready to leave. So they got they got Allie to do it, and Allie said yes. So yep. I'm like, you gonna risk your freedom and risk, I don't know, maybe losing Henry or going to jail because you think that this is a good idea. Okay. Alright, that makes sense. So, you all get down to the wedding. Now, before that happens, on the other side of town, you got Theo. And he can't, Chad can't be his best man because of some problems going on at DeMero. So, can't get him. Can't get Eli because he has stuff that's going on at work. So, they get Lonnie. Lonnie's like, alright, I'll be the best woman or whatever. Theo goes to get the check, and pretty much Lonnie's like, listen, we gotta sit there. Lonnie agrees to do this, knowing that it's a bad idea, knowing that there's a good possibility that she can get her memories back at any point in time, but she's just not there looking at her dad like, yep, we gotta do it. And the dad's like, yep, we gotta keep our mouth shut. Okay. Alright, cool. So y'all both in agreement of doing this and possibly getting his heart broken down the line. And you could just sit there and say, yeah, we did it. This made sense to us. Instead of trying to talk some sense into him. And Theo, I should tell you the truth, I get it. They're trying to be supportive. I don't feel like that's the best way, but whatever. So yeah, everyone gets down there. And, Claire's like, well, even if she doesn't show up at the wedding, if she's not there, people are going to start looking for her. She was like, I got a plan. Okay, Claire, what's your plan? Claire's plan is to walk down the aisle, like covered up or whatever, pretty much what Jan Spears did. Walk down the aisle, and Theo, unlifts the veil or whatever, and she's all like, surprise! I'm like, wait, so your plan was pretty much just to give him more time. Because they're going to look for CR anyway. So what was the... I can't make this up. I really can't. So yeah, CR's in the limo. And she noticed that, the driver or whatever missed the turn. She's like, the church is back that way. And Ben is like, no. We're going somewhere else. Happy anniversary. Alright, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. If this does not work, you are so screwed. You are so screwed. And to be honest, I'm not gonna feel bad for you at all. I'm not gonna feel bad for him. I'm not gonna feel bad for Claire. I'm not gonna feel bad for Allie. Nah. But here's the thing. If it does work, I'm not gonna feel bad for Theo. So I'm not. And I know that sounds dickish. I know. Let's be honest. He put himself through this. He knew exactly what was at stake. People kept something telling him. He didn't want to listen to, anyone. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. So when this comes back and it bites him in the ass and she remembers everything, I'm just gonna just sit there and just look. I don't want to sit there and say I'm gonna relish in his pain because that's taking a step too far. But I'm not gonna feel any sympathy at all. Now, on the other side of town, Philip enacts his plan to give the letter to Nicole and have Nicole just do maximum damage on Sammy's marriage. And he pretty much, when he gets there, he gives her a letter, or before he gives her a letter, I don't know, at some point when he gives her a letter, he sits there and tells her, he's like, listen, my brother wants to be happy with Sammy. I want him happy. And this is the way to do it. And you can get your revenge all at the same time. And at first, I thought she was going to take the high road. I really did. For some, I don't know Nicole as much as everyone else. So I thought that she was going to take the high road since she kept looking at the letter and stuff. But she goes down to, to EJ's office. And this is after EJ and Bella was talking about Sammy. Pretty much EJ defending Sammy's actions about the whole Eric situation. How she handled it. And I'm just like, bro, listen, I get it. That's your wife. You're going to sit there and try to protect her and protect her honor and stuff like that. But that's her sister. Okay? And if her sister is pretty much talking about her in that type of manner, maybe you should listen. Just maybe you should listen. Especially after, she was sitting there talking about letting Jan Spears on the loose, because it's something that she wanted and collateral damage be damned. So, they finished up the meeting or whatever, she leaves, and that's when Nicole walks on in there. She walks in there, and at first EJ just starts acting all hella smug. Like, oh, you're embarrassing yourself, you might as well leave with a little bit of dignity that you have. You can't blame Samantha, this is your fault. You did all this to yourself. And I'm like, granted, he was right about that. Nicole did do that all to herself. Like, she did do that to herself. You can't blame Sammy for you cheating on Eric with Xander. You can't do that. And you can't blame Xander for being a snake because, that's what he is. So, at the end of the day, you have nobody to blame for yourself. But with that being said, yeah, he was talking to her hella greasy. And she was like, okay. Alright, she takes out the letter. She hands it to him. He reads it. And oh my goodness. This man, it's like he morphed into the devil pretty much. Or just brung out his evil innerness or something like that. His inner evilness or something. I mean, this guy's face just... I don't even know how to describe it. But he was pissed. He was like, okay, you know what? You did what you came here to do. You can leave. And then she started saying a couple more comments like, oh, well, you know. She was like, well, at least you got this letter in the privacy of your own office as opposed to me getting outed in front of everyone. I was like, Nicole, listen, I get that you're saying all that, and that's all correct, but I don't think you want to be near this man right now. I think you want to leave while you still can, because this man looked like he's ready to kill anyone and everyone. Okay, you don't want to be, that's just not making more matter. You should just walk on out of there. He gets angry. He throws stuff off his desk. And then he's like, give me the number to Kristen's other phone now. And he just starts yelling on the phone. He gets to the house. And Sammy's like, oh, what are you doing home so early? You know, she's all being all phony and fake and everything. And, you know, EJ's like, oh, I want to be home to my loving, faithful wife. And he says it with a smile on his face, looks her right in the eyes, being all smiley and happy, and just ready to just do, I don't even know what he's going to do to her, but whatever it is, it can't be good. And to be honest, I'm not going to feel bad for Sammy, depending on what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of him, like, putting his hands on her, like, hitting her or anything like that, but, like, if he has some sort of revenge plan, I'm there for that. Now, of course, Lucas was there earlier talking to Sammy. He was like, you know, I could have gave him the letter, and I wanted to, but I didn't. And he talks about how much he loves her, and she's all like, yeah, you know, she's just like crying and everything like that. She's all like, I'm sorry. I'm like, sweetheart, you're not sorry at all. Stop saying that. Like, you sound so damn irritating to say, oh, I'm sorry, like you're touched by what he's doing. But you wasn't touched enough to sit there and protect his feelings. You know? There was episodes, I still remember the episode when she was on the phone with Lucas and she was like, oh, I just finished making love or whatever, or we just finished making love, you know, talking about EJ. And Lucas is on the phone and she's all like, oh, I'm sorry. You're not sorry. You're just callous. And just nasty. And I don't mean nasty as in gross. I mean nasty as in like, this is how you're treating a man who loves you. Who is pretty much giving you his heart. And you treat him with such disrespect. It's, honestly, to tell you the truth, disgusting. It really is. And I'm glad some people are sitting there talking about it in the comment section because, I mean, let's be honest. The roles was reversed. I mean, they be calling him anything and everything under the sun. So, again, I'm glad that he got the letter. I'm glad that, you know, whatever happens, happens. And, yeah. I feel like I'm missing something. I really do. It's like I'm at 13 minutes so far, and I'm like, did I just get through everything? Probably not, because I usually miss like one or two things. I can't really sit there and think of anything else that happened throughout this episode. I felt like it was very short and very contained. I don't really know what I missed. It's crazy. I mean, tomorrow's not going to be a new episode, and we won't see a new episode for another 2 weeks, so, I don't know. I can't really think of anything that I missed. 1 second. I do got to give a shout out to DC Sanctuary, though. Because he said something I thought was really interesting about the whole Eric and Nicole thing. As far as, you know, Eric leaving and just not wanting to deal with, you know, his marriage and stuff like that. So when she called him a coward and stuff like that, you know, I'm like, she wasn't entirely wrong, you know? As far as, you know, when they, a couple of days ago when, 1 second. As far as him just not wanting to deal with his marriage and stuff like that. And it's something I didn't really sit there and talk about, you know, during that whole episode. But I was glad that I watched. I was glad that I watched his review because I was like, yeah, that's a really good point. I never really thought of it that way. Um, which honestly, to tell you the truth, in hindsight, it a lot of that stuff doesn't matter because he's gone. I mean, he's not on the show anymore, and fans was really excited for him to come back on, just for him to be on for like maybe 3 or 4 days, and then the marriage ends and he just goes back to Africa. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, I want to see kind of more of a fallout, but it was almost like they hyped up this character. People got really excited, and then he's gone. Like, what was the point of that? To be honest, I feel like it was just kind of a waste. I mean, yeah, there's really no other ways to put it. Anyway, with that being said, I think that's about it. Yeah, shout out to DC Sanctuary, because it was a point that I didn't really sit there and look at, mostly because I was just so annoyed with Nicole. But, yeah. Anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe. I guess if you watch my day's reviews, I will see you in 2 weeks. If you want to watch GH, I still do the reviews on GH. Until, like, unless something like that happens or whatever. But other than that, you can catch me on GH. Other than that, be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I will see you in the next video.